So I haven't done one of these in a while, and literally that's because pandemic. As motivated as maybe I should, as like everybody else portrays their life on TikTok, that they've been doing so well and starting so many businesses and getting so much money, and I literally have gone through fluctuating weight, moods, emotions, and now I'm here. So I felt, what better way to kickstart doing YouTube again than doing top 5 things that I've learned from 2020. So sorry, I just had to clear the background. It was really giving me feelings, so now I've made it clear. So now I'm going to continue. So yeah, 2020 was just a movie of a year for so many reasons, and this is why to kickstart coming back onto YouTube, doing something more useful, I decided to go over the top 5 things that I learned through 2020. Starting with, let me grab my notebook. I got this from House of CB, and I actually wrote things down because I feel like it's always good to write things down so you don't forget. Okay, number 1, life is too short, so why care what other people think? I mean, if 2020's proved nothing, is we're going to die anyway, whether you die from a virus or you die from natural causes or your heart just stops beating. If you give so much energy to other people because you care about what they think, you will never accomplish anything in life. And life is too short to like care like if the other person's going to say I love you back, if you know you're going to have money to buy a house. Like, just do what you want to do. That would be my best piece of advice, and I think that is the number 1 lesson that I learned in 2020 is just, who gives a fuck? Life is too short. 2, excuses won't bring results. So a lot of us were kind of like given the, I want to say it's a blessing and a curse of being in a pandemic, because it's not like we went through World War One. It's not like we had to really endure hardship. Like, people have really endured hardship. We just kind of like had to stay in our houses. And 2021, like, no one really knows what's going to happen or what the future may bring, but we're kind of already like in this system of save lives, wash your hands, face, you know. It's not like we're going to battle, it's not like we're going to war. And so if at this stage you can't motivate yourself or get something organized or even discipline yourself to like a bare minimum degree, your excuses are not going to get you results. They're not going to get you success. It's not going to make you any money. You literally have to stop fucking complaining and whinging and just do what's best for you. And I feel like once you take accountability for yourself, then you're basically opening up the pathway to do everything that you need to do and get all the success that you need to get. There's beauty in isolation. The reason I think that the pandemic has been useful, just where we've had to basically isolate and not be around so much of our friends, so many of the people that may be speaking negative to you, people that may be secret haters, people that may have unnecessary access to you. There's beauty. The beauty of isolation is that you've been able to segregate yourself and really, well, I would hope you've been able to really evaluate whose time and whose energy is really necessary. Because a lot of the time, if we look at our friendship circles, even our work circles, even our family, there are a lot of people who are just a waste of time. And I don't mean like raw, like they're a waste of time, like they're trash. I mean just like it's unnecessary energy that you don't need to carry. And a lot of us are carrying energies around that don't belong to us, because people will speak certain things, people will try and corrupt you, and it's just, yeah. Beauty in isolation is unnecessary. 4, you're never too old to learn. From people jumping on TikTok like myself, to learning to make banana bread to cooking. Like, there's so much learning, self-development that has come from 2020, and that's not a negative thing. I always believe that your biggest work is you, and that work is to be carried out through your whole life. And so with this kind of with 2020, sorry, it's given people the opportunity to really learn themselves and learn new things and get certificates and get jobs. Because as much as people have lost jobs, people have gained jobs. As lots of people have been in a hard situation, a lot of people, especially people I know, have like opened up businesses. They're doing things they didn't really think they were capable of doing, and they're pushing themselves to new boundaries because they've had the opportunity of 2020. And last but not least, number 5, 2020 has taught me the biggest lesson in life is self-care, self-love, self-worth, self-respect, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. You need to be able to really value and love yourself above all, because if you're not putting the investment in you, whatever that is, that could be education, it could be just maintenance, it could be kind words, then everything else around you will crumble. A lot of us were left like by ourselves and not with family, and we really needed to take the time out to really evaluate our mental health states, our physical states. I mean, to be honest with you, let me just tell you this. I obviously go gym, have a PT, fabulous, work out, do all of that. Pandemic hit, I put on like a stone. And you know what? Like, I even then, like, March had to come back to, not March, I had to come back into work like a couple months after, and people were just like, oh, I haven't seen you. They don't obviously reference my weight out of, I don't know, being nice, but then coming back into that environment, then having to lose weight and get back, it's self-care, self-maintenance, self-awareness. And the biggest lesson I think 2020 has given us is that self-care, or self-investment is a better word, is definitely necessary. Okay guys, so that was a quick video on things that I've learned in 2020, well, my top 5 lessons of 2020. I do want to be more consistent on YouTube, so that's one of my 2021 goals, and I hope that I'm going to be able to fulfill it and bring content that's of value to you guys. But that's all for now. Until next time.